Yeah, so we're having a pretty good time with this base of 5 stuff and with the Schall mods and the Schallfalke, I don't remember what it is and how it's pronounced, but that's fine. Heroes and mods, we've got them, it's great. We've also got the Necromant mods, so we've got lots of trash, and I've been saying trash chest for a while, trash station, and haven't actually built it, but we've got trash in a train, we've got a couple of outposts that have got like pickup towers, picking up stuff and putting it on a belt, and that being like ferried to the place. Yeah, here we go. All the stuff is getting slowly conveyed into the places that, we'll eventually put things on this train, but it's time to build a trash station, because I don't really plan on like manually hand feeding this stuff anymore. It's just not a thing I want to do. And we got some trains. I think we can take this kind of chill, because we've actually secured our entire perimeter now. This one was a while ago, but it's also got a pickup tower, so even the stuff isn't ending up on the ground. The other side of this, there's a bit over here that doesn't have pickup tower coverage, but we can also just go like item on ground, hey bots, get all that stuff. The disadvantage is that this isn't actually, I don't have a place. This is just all going to end up in logistics storage. But never mind, that's what we're doing, it's fine. The other one that changed is, down, like I think, this is the one that's been here for ages. It's got a lot of landmines, it's not getting attacked, it's fine. This one over here is the new one that I put in between episodes, and it's also just got like a bunch of landmines and a bunch of bots, and that's also fine. And then I also threw a radar down over here, just to check that this is, like, I already knew this wasn't connected, but I wanted eyes on it, and also to attempt to scan out more iron. I think more iron is going to be the most interesting medium-term problem, because we don't have much of it. Like, I'm not seeing, I've got copper there and over here, and basically in every direction a ton of copper. There's a little bit of iron mixed into the copper, because we've got the diversity mods there as well, more copper. But we don't actually have, we got this iron patch with 3.2 million, and we got this iron patch, and we're going to have to do something about that later as well, but we might also just attempt to convert some of the junk we have here into iron ore. But anyway, go build a station. I don't have a whole lot of these at the moment. I don't think I have... I don't have the mall building these either, but we're going to move into the phase of the game where we need a lot of them. And I don't actually think I need all that many trains at this point, so we're just gonna like hack this around and put these guys like... Actually, that could be... we can do this. We can do something like that, whatever. Have more chips and cogs. You can have stuff, you can have stuff. And now we've got, 2 stacks of assemblers making their way towards existing, so that's fine. And I do need... Actually, if I am doing a train station, and I am doing a train station, I am going to need a bunch of stack inserters. So I guess I grab these, and I kind of don't want to take red chips from there, I kind of want to take red chips from over here, because I got a lot of red chips from over here. And I guess I make, you can have a lot of these. And then I will want stack inserters, and, I guess we're handcrafting a bunch of these. Oh, and I also wanted to take this off for reasons. We're going to just unbind that again, and this is going to run us out of iron again, isn't it? I'm kind of low on iron. Things I'll deal with later. 25? Kind of a decent number thus far. Let's put those back to not fully backed up, but somewhat backed up. Okay. So we got ourselves some stack inserters. I am going to need more stack inserters, aren't I? I'm definitely going to need more stack inserters. I'm probably... You know what? You can make stack inserters. Because I've already got a box here that has red chips in it. I can put the rest of the fast inserters in this. And then you can... we'll just completely unlimit that, because this guy making stack inserters is limited by the chips and fast inserters. We're only making 50 fast inserters at a time. That seems incorrect for this point of the game. Not that. 100 of those, that seems fine. A bunch of those, that all seems fine. So now we are going to absolutely blast the iron supply, because, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I want to extend military science and I want to extend blue science as well, but based on the small amount of this that's coming through, I don't think I have the resources for it. In fact, let's leave that one, because I might need... Actually, do I need these guys? I don't think I need these guys at all. I don't think I care about having that many more bullets at this point. The thing I was going to do is... We'll just turn all those around and we'll empty this buffer, which has quite a bit of iron, back into the system. And we'll exit... Yeah, so that's fine. We got some of these. We don't actually have any chain signals. Need more chain signals, depending on the iron that I just observed to not have. So that's cool. It's a nice slow run. Things are pretty good. We are ages away from getting Biggs arriving at all. But I do need a bunch of chain signals. Am I only doing... I think I'm actually doing more than one... I think I'm doing more than one train station. For reasons. I still have some of those. Give me some of this stuff. Yeah, let's have another 5 of these. That's fine. I got a bunch of stuff that I don't want in my inventory. You can have the rest of the cogs, whatever. Okay. These guys are... You're not running? You've never been running because these inserters are all in terrible places? That's... I mean, unfortunate, but not surprising. That does sound like the sort of thing I do. I think those guys are fine for a long while. Okay, let's actually go and do the thing that we were supposed to be doing, and figure out where. And I was wondering if I was going to do like landfill some of this stuff, which seems a pain in the ass for reasons we'll get to. Specifically, being not having a lot of landfill, or do it down here. And I think this one here is going to annoy me, but I think... then it kind of doesn't exist here either. Because I think the thing I wanted to do... Yeah, this is going to be an intersection. This is going to be how we run intersections in this thing. This disaster here is actually going to be... You know, that's our intersection. We're not even going to split up the middle of it. We're just going to have... I mean, we've got chain signals everywhere. It's going to be a bit of a disaster. That's going to be fine. These guys almost certainly don't need to exist. So let's just put all of that stuff in storage and give the bots something to do. This can go here. Other things that aren't super useful. But yeah, a lot of these miners are dying. There's very little... Yeah, there's very little iron coming out of this patch now, and very little coal coming out of this patch, and everything is kind of powered by outposts, which is kind of what's going to happen anyway. And those are all the bots bringing the bullets back, because that's how that works. I'm still distracting myself from the actual main goals of designing this trash outpost. So yeah, let's go and do that. I'm in the train. We can run the train down here. I don't think I need... Let's just presume that we're safe and disassemble most of the defenses. Here's my intersection. And yeah, that oil pipe is kind of in the way. And I think I want to throw this here, so... I can't actually do that from the map as easily, can I? Okay, we're just going to wander our way down here, and then we're going to move this oil pipe. I think I will be doing this with train supply in a bit, but before then, we're going to have to get this trash station in the right place. And here looks like it's going to... I mean, what am I even doing to the left? Am I doing anything to the left? I don't know. To the left, to the right. Sure, whatever, we'll deal with that later. Actually, I am going to have some train thing here, because I want to complete, like, if this is going to be like, if I only have one way to get to any place, then this whole disaster of a chain signal or the intersections isn't going to work. So I need to have some other way to connect this to somewhere else, which is probably going to happen anyway, because all of this stone is just out, is it? Okay, all of that's done. Don't have a radar there, so I don't have to worry about depowering any of that. Is that true? Yeah, this guy's powered from over here. But yeah, we're gonna have to spaghetti some more rail in, and before that, yeah, we're gonna have to put more roboports around the place. I think this area here we're going to attempt to reserve to fit in purple and yellow science. I think that's going to be, yeah, like there's going to be more of this, although I don't have the resources for it yet, so I guess not. I guess this much of it is going to end up going something like this. I mean, why not? Let's have the bots build that as well, because you know they're gonna have fun things to do. Let's get this out the way so I can at least have this here. Is this one in the way as well? It is, isn't it? Like here or something, so that we can do that. But like the rest of this is going to put the buildings in, but it's not going to actually work yet, and I don't even have the resources for it to work yet. And that's not even the only power connection, so that's fine. Then I need more roboport range down here, so I can get a roboport right up by this intersection. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'm out of the car. Yeah. So let's have. Let's not do that. Yeah, if I do this and then this guy coming into like here or something, that's nice and central. I'm pretty sure I do still have roboports, so we can just extend that, and then dudes are going to come in. I think I have all the chain signals. I don't think the bots have any chain signals, but whatever. Shall I just... And the answer to this might be yes. This is all full. This doesn't have any tanks. I have 4 tanks. So I think what I'm actually going to do, because I kind of want to put the train station here, is having figured out where this will go, is then immediately break the thing. Actually, I shouldn't be dismantling those ones because these ones have still got oil in it. However, the ones on the other end I kind of don't care about. All of these ones, like, because I can train supply this, right? Like, that's a thing that happens. Train supply looks like I don't really want to put a station in those trees, which means the station might be out here, which means I could at least kind of figure out if I am going to have a train station, and I've just decided that that's going to be the train station. That's how that's going to work. I should, yeah, okay, fine. I should actually figure out where a train stop will go, so I can figure out where tanks go, so I can put the oil that these pump jacks are no longer collecting, at least in other tanks as well. And then I guess we're just going to pledge / hope that, not like that, that I can get the trash station in time. Yeah, looks like a good spot just there. Yeah, that I can get the trash station in time to get... Do I have pumps? No, but I can make pumps. Yeah, we'll just hope that the rest of this trash station gets done in time to reconnect this thing. And I don't even know... I mean, based on how I'm doing stuff, this is probably going to be a double-sided train station because that's the sort of thing I'm doing. Let's just connect these again. So as soon as I get the do I have solid fuel? I do have solid fuel. As soon as am I using them? That was solid fuel. Probably yes, because it's going back to where the petrochem is. Yeah. So as soon as I get the rest of this rail kind of sorted, but it's kind of going in a dumb place, but whatever. I can get this back, and in the meantime, I've used up 2 out of 25, which is going to be, yeah. I just need to do the rest of the station, basically. Tech is almost done. Tech is going slowly because this is like throttled by military science, but like damage 4 isn't even a thing I'm really going to use yet, but whatever. Also, here's some stuff on the ground. Let's not have the stuff on the ground. We're going to have to, actually I'm not even going to bother about that. We're just going to extend the roboports down here, because this is, like, we're going to be building in this direction anyway, right? Like that there, and then this is going to do a thing, and then big power poles like here, and like over here we'll connect them up. So those guys are going to be powered. This guy is, yeah, it's going to clean out the rest of the pipe, which is fine. And now I'm doing something that depends on blue and military science, which is fine. Both of those are kind of slow. I should have, yeah, I've actually got a lot of blue backed up, don't I? And I'm kind of waiting on military science. But the other thing that we're going to kick off is actually these are the drills, because I think this is going to be how we're going to get more iron onto trains when we start doing train supply from mining outposts. So we're going to do that one. Actually, the second tier one also only needs blue science, and we've got a lot of blue science. So we'll do this, and then following that we'll do the tier 2 version of these mining drills, and we might even just end up just skipping tier 1. Does this tell me how many module slots they have? Because I remember one of the things that's kind of strong / busted. Well, it's not really busted. They're quite expensive things, but it doesn't tell me how many module slots they have, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the things that makes these crazy. So that's going to use up all the red and green, a lot of blue science, and then we'll go back to this tier 2 pickup tower that I'm not really in a position to do anything with yet, but it's going to be useful. And the tier 3 pickup tower is also just red, green, blue science, and that fires every 90 seconds for a pickup range of 96, whereas these ones fire every 60 seconds for a pickup range of 64, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure these things have like an exponential cost usage, don't they? Yeah, so this one takes 4 levels of pickup 2 towers, and then the pickup 2 tower takes 4 pickup 1s, and yeah, so I need to make like 16 of these pickup towers in order to make a level 3 pickup tower, but that's all basically fine. That's pretty much handled. At this point we just want to make this trash station a thing, and I've kind of, where is it going, and does this actually need to be an intersection? And I think the answer to that is yes. Can I put the trash station like here? I think the answer to that is going to be yes. Can I? Although the bots don't have chain signals, sure, whatever. Where is? That's too close, isn't it? That doesn't connect. Whereas here, actually it can't be there, because of, if it's here, then this will still correctly signal for all of those. But also I need ones going this way, because I don't know which direction I'm building this thing. This is going to be kind of in the way. Yeah, if I do have, like, if this is the plan to go from here and continue out, and I'm kind of deciding that that's the plan to go there and out, then that's also kind of, I guess I'm building up. I could build up for the Schall stuff, and then I could put the Necromant stuff down here. I think that's what we're going to do. So the general plan of this is, yeah, you have some chain signals, and this is going to be where the station is, and this is going to be one way, and so yeah, this rail network is going to be a disaster. We're going to have two-way track everywhere. We're not even bothering to signal the inside of the intersections. We've got chain signals on all of the intersections. Actually, you guys have a bunch of chain signals. I know you want them. We're going to have a mix of different sizes of trains. We've already got 1-2-1 trains, and then over here for the light oil, we've got 1-2-1 trains. Sorry, 1-1-1 trains. It looks like, based on what I've put here, this is going to end up a 1-1-1-2-1 train as well, but then the ore trains are probably going to be one way, and maybe 1-4 trains or 2-8 trains, and it's all going to be a mess, and people are going to hate it, and it's going to be funny, and I won't care, and content. So this can go here. Can I make... I mean, I am going to need... Yeah, so this can go... It's going to need to be in here or something, isn't it? And then this is actually not going to reach. That's cool. And then I guess I'm going to put a radar over here as well, because I can. Do the bots have big poles? No. Okay, so let's also give the bots big poles. And this is this going to be in the way of where I'm trying to process anything? Quite possibly. But we're not going to worry about that yet. We're just going to give these guys some poles. Because I wanted to take this thing back a bit. And then... How far... If these things are 1-to-1 trains, then I need to have 4 carriages, which means that here can be a place where... Yeah, that'll fit. Yeah, 1 and then 2 and then 1, and yeah, it's fine. Cool. Because the thing... I don't want this going all the way back. In fact, maybe this means that... Oh, it can't go any further up. It would have to... Yeah, maybe it's going inside the station. Because the plan for here is this is just going to go like this turning circle, which is why I'm kind of using this, is going like that, and then this is going this way, and then here we're just going to go, you know, join the main track whichever way you want, bro. I don't mind. Actually, this one here definitely wants to be a rail signal because we're allowed in here. And then let's just do these myself because I also need to put the signals on this. How far does this go? I can actually have a rail signal in here, which is cool, and I've got space for 4 trains there. And then this one is probably symmetrical, isn't it? Because 4 rails are the distance. Well, yeah, 4 trains are the distance on either side. So if I do that, then I have 4 rails there, I have 4 there, I have 4 there, and the chain out. So this guy is going to be named, I've already come up with a name for this guy, I'm going to enjoy this. This is the, what was it? Dismembered Corpse Party is what we're making today. This station is the Dismembered Corpse Party. And this train wants to go to the Dismembered Corpse Party. Actually, yeah, these things are kind of annoying to drive when they're double-sided, and a little bit of a shame. This is probably all just wall-taking damage. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, this station never wants more than 4 trains allocated, so we're going to do that. And then if I've got 4 sections of wall that each have trains that are trying to come here, they'll just hang out in their own stations until they get something available. But this is going to be Dismembered Corpse Party, empty cargo. Go here. I'm not standing on it, which is fine. This, yeah, I'm actually going to have to move this on. It's going to annoy me. Wait, I also said that I was putting the Schall processing here, so I'm clearly not putting the Schall processing here. Maybe I'm putting the sorting and the buffering of the Schall ores here, and then putting the actual processing up there, but then I still don't have much landfill. I don't have a whole lot of landfill to make that work, which is an interesting situation. And then I guess am I just belting it back up to the other side? Maybe. I mean, if I had more landfill, this is a decent amount of space that would let me get that done. But the thing is, yeah, this landfill buffer got destroyed a while ago. Then I've got random junk on the belt, which is fine. This landfill buffer never really had much in it anyway, and I actually also already used it. And then, how much have I got down here? I've got, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to landfill a lot in this mission, because the only place, there's a lot of bases over there, and this is, that's interesting. This is the one single entrance to here, and then it's got like more chokes and who knows what's over there, but still no iron. Yeah, the only place there are no stone expansions either, but that's kind of by design. There's one of the settings in one of the mods that means the only place I find stone is as a byproduct for all of these other mixed patches, but also uranium's in there as well. So I'm going to end up with as much uranium as stone, which is going to be an issue. Anyway, how am I getting this stuff out? I think if I am going to move that roboport, having decided that it's going to be over here instead. So, but I don't really want to put it in the middle of. We can have the roboport over here. Yeah, I don't want the roboport in the middle of the space that I'm going to use, and I might end up moving, whatever. But we've got to actually start building a thing. So where can all of this go? Because I kind of got a bit of a design for this thing. We're going to have this kind of stuff. Or do I have the other kind of power poles? Can I make the other kind of power poles? No, that's kind of annoying. Okay, fine. I guess we do this for a while. And yeah, then the plan here is a thing that's like being seen quite a bit, and you just get some of these things, and I don't even know if I have. Am I even manufacturing splitters at this point? This is going to have to go like over here or something. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm waiting on prod mods. I'm putting a lot of prod mods in this box, but it's not in the logistics network, so that's fine. Okay, so this is going to be, this kind of thing, and then we do that, and we've got, a belt of stuff out, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and this is going to mean that we don't, this is going to take out stuff off this particularly quickly, but I'm okay with that. And then I think, is this going to get in the way of a fuel line? It might, and this also, it's the wrong place. And this also wants to go all the way in, but this can jump over both those places to there. That's much better. And then is this? Yeah, this is a bit disappointing. Somewhere over here I have a pattern that's good enough-ish. It's not actually good enough-ish, is it? It's not at all. But this is. I can kind of use this to filter off the Schall ores, I guess. Is it this way? Yeah, but it's also that. And then like so, yeah. And I don't have splitters. Why do I not have splitters? Okay, here's how we can get some splitters. You pick up the splitters and you do undo, and then you don't have a personal roboport, so your bots don't put it back, and then the bots bring it from them all, and then I've got splitters to build and configure. And so the first thing we're going to do is. So we're going to filter out the different kinds of Schall ore, and we're going to go. Yeah, this is going to give me one belt of throughput I guess I'll put a build here, and then this thing, we want to do, how much of a buffer do I need for these? I don't plan on needing much of a buffer for this stuff. But also it looks like I can fit the buffer I kind of want here, and then put it underneath the, you guys aren't sure, whatever. I wonder if I'm automating, it does not look like I also don't have all, oh no, I had some boxes in storage, whatever. Yeah, so I do actually think I need to move like this much of the rail section. Can I get that other? I can't actually get. Okay. Can't actually get the rest of that rail section without picking up some of the other stuff as well. But I want to take all of that and move that by like 2 spaces. Sure, and then reconnect this again. And then this should give me enough space here to have this kind of business. Should I do that with fast inserters? I could quite possibly do that with fast inserters. Probably not going to though. Yeah, because now we can buffer. This is going to be a nice little buffer that will give us once we get all the things, that'll give us everything we kind of want. Except that... Okay, so let's figure out where the other buffers can go, because we've got a couple of other types of ore to process. The thing is, I might actually... Yeah, this is fine, isn't it? We're definitely going to landfill all of that. Do I have... I actually reckon I have enough landfill to put some decent sized builds in this direction. Yeah, because those little spots don't take too much landfill. Because if I've got... Yeah, we're gonna go for this and see if we can make this work. And you know, probably will. This is going to be... So this is where we also decide where we're processing this into. And I think a lot of this is going to need to be iron, but I think also a lot of it is going to need to be stone. And we get, for this dark kind of ore, we get better rates out for stone than iron. The different kind of rates we get for like output ores versus input ores change depending on exactly, I don't need that one, which of the ores we're trying to convert into which other ore. But I think that's this is a fairly nice pattern, other than the underground at the bottom, that can just continue like that. And the reason I wanted to do that is so I can pick the rest of this up and put it here, and then figure out where this buffer wants to go, and then figure out where this thing wants to go, and it wants to go here, except that this now wants to be the next filter, and this one wants to, you know, continue, and yeah, then we need to change these things as well, and I think these ones are all going to be iron, because these rates are 1-to-1 type 1 ore to stone, but then 2-to-1 alien ore to iron. I don't need the rest of these though. Whereas this one, 1-to-1 alien ore 2 to iron, but also if we use these for stone, they're still 1-to-1. So the rates get twice as good, kind of, for the different kinds of stuff. This is... I ballsed that up though, haven't I? All of this is in fact incorrect and needs to be moved, but that's okay, because that's what bots are for. And then I've also got some more stuff myself, and then this is... I don't think I need to power them all like that at all. Then I think we're going to set this one up for the third kind, but I don't know if I'm going to process... Like, there is another grade of these things that are like artifacts afterwards. In fact, this guy's not going to be here at all, because it's going to be in the way of this filter. They can go further than that, can't they? I think I'd like them to go further than that. May as well use all of it. Because this has... Yeah, there is a third type that always... This, like... It's kind of radioactive fluorescent pink, which is fine. I need a lot more of those iron chests. Can I... Is there somewhere over here? Yes. Wait, no, because I already don't have... Yeah, let's just do some nasty dodge... Oh no, grumble. If I do that, it's going to try... Like, there's a decent chance that it will attempt to be positioning one of those iron chests, and I don't want it to position one of those iron chests. I want this thing to be... Man, it's so difficult to be lazy. Where? This thing? And then this also here. And that should... Other than the lack of iron, which is still a concern, you're going to have to do something. I'm down to... I don't think I'd want to be making that much steel. Yeah, I think where is one of these things that outputs on the other side? I want to turn this one here into a one that outputs on the right. So let's do that as well. Upper priority on the right. Because you can do this from the map, even though you can't actually reach the thing. I can still go, where is this splitter here is the one that's going to prioritize all of that into iron, and then the steel I'll only get from like half of this thing, which is fine because I've already got a lot of steel. That'll get me more iron, except that this thing is now prioritizing the wrong way, but I think it's fine. It's still, yeah, whatever, moving on. Am I getting these guys? Oh wait, this... Where is it? Over here. This box doesn't want to be boxes. It wants to be a logistics box, which I don't have yet. So that's cool as well. Yeah, we're getting some of this processing done. Yeah, like that. So all of the stuff is still blocked, and need to turn these into the larger power balls, but that's fine. Need to put the roboport somewhere. It doesn't fit over there, it does fit in here. So, roboport. I got a roboport there. Where is the nearest radar, and do I need another radar? I think I need another, yeah, if I have another radar over here, whatever. That's a thing I can deal with later. So yeah, so the plan generally here is we'll take this stuff off the belt. You don't have another one yet, which is fine. At roughly the kind of rate they can, and we'll try and pass this through, and we'll buffer everything else, and that'll be all, kind of fine. And then on the other side, because I kind of want to be processing. Oh, actually, let's check on whether our oil is completely busted. No, it's fine. We've wasted about half the time so far. Yeah, I kind of want the... There is actually one other of these kind of things, which we will at least filter off here. But I don't think we're going to do anything with it. We're just going to like straight up put it in boxes for the moment. Let's give it a little more space. That was not what I wanted. Yeah, something like that, because there's also these alien artifacts, of which I've already picked up a couple. So then yeah, so I've got a lot of different kinds of stuff. This will be all of the different types of things we're picking up for the Schall stuff. It's just like a question of exactly which things I want to put back and turn into what other things. These, I don't even know what these want to be yet, but I'm gonna guess that these want to be iron. I also don't think I have that much of them yet, so it's not really worth. But I think I do want. Let's just see how much of this we can cram in. Yeah, that sounds worthwhile. This is definitely more than I was processing previously, and now we've got. Okay, we've got. It's not going to use that much, yeah. Yeah, whatever. We can absolutely just over provision this massively, and not care. So that's absolutely what we're going to do. That also looks like a good place. So yeah, and then we're just going to process these ores out. That's going to be fine. Everything else will kind of cache. That'll be fine. And then these ones, that should take care of, I mean, other than the fact that I haven't built all the boxes, but I've kind of provisioned building all the boxes. That's, what am I looking for? Oh yeah, because it's not in there, it's in here. Yeah, those are the 4 different kinds of things that I can get via the Schall waste product. So that's all we're going to do. And I don't even know what I'm doing with, yeah, whatever, I'm moving on. Then I've got the other issue of all these different kinds of bodies, and the thing about those is, okay, so all this stuff can go away, all of that and all of that and all of this is, yeah, kind of the issue we had here as well is that there are 2 layers of processing. There's processing of different kinds of corpses into different intermediates like brains and meat, and then there's different things that happen to the brains and different things that happen to the meat and bones. And I think I kind of want to be able to extend Are these all... this is all going at the rate of ridge research, this is fantastic. And then I've also got barely any of that because I didn't give it walls. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I kind of want to be able to extend this in two directions. I want to be able to extend the biter processing as I get new kinds of biters, and then I also want to be able to extend the meat processing as I end up with more meat to process. And then I think I want to put these on trains again, because the Schall stuff is at least progressing in the same direction as I want to put down here. But if I want to move this other thing around, I mean, I guess this is kind of here, but whatever, but also this isn't going to be, and we're going to reorganize the military science anyway. In fact, can I have a train station here? It's not quite going to fit, is it? But I could have a train station here. Or I could also just do something wild like... Where's one of the places that... Yeah, here's kind of a minimal shimmy. This much of a thing, like I could have... And in fact, this sounds like an awful idea, so I think this is what we're doing. I think this here is going to be where my train station is for moving goop from the base that I'm about to build, that I'm still... Yeah, still kind of procrastinating. Sure, let's get a thing done. So if I say, okay, so if the body processing is on the top half, and the meat and parts processing on the bottom half, this actually wants to run, I reckon, down here. Actually, I can do this. Yeah, we can... Yeah, we're going to go like this, and then this is going to turn up here. And then the idea is, I guess, to run this over here, and then actually do a very similar thing to this. This is the best example of the sorting passage that doesn't have a bunch of other stuff in between, but the difference is I don't think I need that much of a buffer for these kind of corpses. I don't think I need a corpse buffer much at all, because the thing about these Schall ores is, A, there's a ton of them, and they also only stack to 50, and the thing about the bodies is there's less of them, but they stack to 200. So I think we could do that, but then figure out how to stack these into like a storage box. This is actually the other thing I haven't done with all of the Schall stuff, is think about logistic storage. That's not what I wanted. This wants to be... Yeah, so let's just, I guess, work our way through the ones we have. Like, I can filter for all of them, but we're just going to work through the ones that we actually have the text for. So this is going to be... Yeah, so we've got... Wait, did I set that to small... No, small biters. Yeah, good. That is what I wanted. This is going to be small biters. Then these things are also going to just... So how am I going to top that up again? I don't also think that... Like, this is probably going to be belts of stuff. And then this one is not going to need to process so much. So it might only actually be half belts of stuff. So I might be able to go like this. And then this one here is going to turn into... Oh yeah, and then this also wants to be small biter corpses. So that anything gets picked up and gets put here. But then... I actually think there's going to be enough storage. But then I also want the outputs to run the other way, because we're going to put all of the meat and parts processing down there. So we can do this. Actually, I've got these. What am I doing? We can do that. We can do... This is going to be process necromant small biter corpses. Put that over there, and then, oh yeah, inserters that I don't have, and I'm also kind of outside of logistics range, but whatever. Yeah, and then long head inserters the other way, and then 2 of these, and that's going to be, you know, that's spider processing. And this also, yeah, this will let me take that stuff over the other side where we can filter and then process it again, because bear in mind that each of these things, like, they don't get normal stuff out. They, well, it isn't as in stuff that we can just directly use. They give us more examples of just weird junk again. Where does this connect? Connects there. Fine. And then Roboport will connect, I guess, over here somewhere. But the thing is, yeah, so we get, because I don't actually know that I want all the stuff. This here is now kind of the minimal section. And I'm going to put it here to give myself a bit of space, because I might want to speed beacon these guys later. And this also means I can put, yeah, let's put one of these guys like here. Sure, that's gonna work. And then, yeah, give me these guys back and do this trick again, because this is going to, instead of being those kind, small biter, small splitter. And then, yeah, all of these things. Is that, this is 4, isn't it? Yeah, it's gap of 4. So let's put one of those there, just so we can line up the spacing again. So far, we know about small biters, small splitters, medium biters. Do I even have any medium splitters yet? Are medium splitters a thing that I even know exists? I don't actually think it is. Oh no, I've got some medium splitters. I've got a very small number of medium splitter corpses. Have I even researched the processing tech for medium splitter corpses? Medium worms, behemoths biters, and behemoth splitters have different researching techs. But I've actually already processed. I've already got medium splitter corpses and big splitter corpse processing, so I know they exist. So I'm not going to feel too bad about putting this thing like here. So those ones don't need to exist. But then this needs to be small splitter corpse processing. Yeah, and then we'll also set these things up. So if I ever have, yeah, this is kind of the, yeah, sure, whatever. This is also likely way more processing than I need. Probably, maybe, we'll see how much stuff we start polluting. So this wants to be small splitters, and I've got to make sure that this filter, which is small splitter, lines up with this filter, which is also small splitter, which lines up with what these guys are actually producing / processing. So that's fine. So this one wants to be medium biter. I think definitely when I extend this thing again, this is just going to be medium biter. Yes. This is going to be stuff that I will just do in between, because it's going to be kind of more of the same at this point. Medium biter, yeah, let's do all of that. And then let's also, just because we don't have copy and paste, medium splitter. We do have copy and paste, but we don't have these things yet, so they can go there. And then we can go like that, and that's all fixed again. Sure, and then we're just going to extend this the rest of the way. We're just going to straight up ignore beeping stuff at this point as well. Like, it probably is doing a thing. As long as the numbers stop, I don't really mind. And I'm short of lots of things. Why am I short of rail signals? What else do I want to actually... I'm going to need concrete. I've got the size 2 tower. Actually, the stack inserter capacity bonus, now I'm unloading from trains, might be a thing I care about. And then I don't know what else I care about. Purple science, yes. Efficiency module 2 for weird reasons, maybe eventually later. But I think it's going to be laser turrets or rocketry. Except I also haven't fed them walls. So why do I need? Why do I need rail signals? What did I copy in? Oh, I copied... Yeah, when I copied this thing, I got some rail signals on there. Okay, that's fine. Let's just check that this is still what it needs to be. Chain signal to go out onto the network, which is fine. Rail signal there, rail signal there. All of these things fit the size of trains that I'm dealing with, so that's fine. Yeah, and then these guys need to get this rest of this stuff built as well. Are you guys not... I don't have any inserters. I bet that's because I don't have any iron. Yeah, there's hardly any iron getting to these inserters. These guys are getting some now, but all the inserters are also getting turned into science instead of me actually being able to, you know, put any of these builds down, but that's fine. Okay, get rid of these things. How is the oil situation? Yeah, we're still fine. Because the other thing that strikes me is if I'm leaning on the solid fuel as a power source at all, I guess I've still got these ones. I'm actually still fine. There is basically zero chance that the base will burn out, and even if it does, there's also still the accumulator tank that I can lean on, and then in the daytime the solar will kick back in. I am running down the coal buffer though, which is nice because that's the point. How am I then need to... what are these guys? Oh, these guys are, I bet are... like, yeah. I've got a bunch of junk in my inventory at the moment. And... I have no idea why that's there. Those filters should be filtering. Okay, so now we can see all of this working, which is nice. I've got a bunch of other junk, which I'm just going to throw back in the train. Arguably, I'm not also not sorting out wood or coal or stone, and maybe I should. In fact, given my stone situation, one of the things that might actually be worth doing is just driving around and deconstructing a bunch of stones. Except I'm also not seeing a whole lot of stones, so that's not going to be super useful. Stuff like this is like, whatever, get in the storage chest. Yeah, then there are a couple of things I want to do with... Actually, let's... Okay, that one kind of didn't take in the right way. This one will line things up nicely, right? Yeah, matching. These are big spitters. This one is medium biters, and then this one is the one that's not set. This one wants to be medium spitters. And then this one also wants to be medium spitters. So if I can clean out the logistics chests, the logistics stuff, then the bots, if I'm picking anything up off the ground, will deliver it over here. This one I'm probably going to turn into a requester chest and do a trick with later. But these guys just need to have more stuff built. But anyway, all of the stuff is kind of backing up, and we've got to turn this into the meat and bones and animal stuff, and there's a couple of options how I could do that. I could buffer it again. I could... What am I... Oh, I'm waiting on landfill there. Okay, bots can have something else to do. I don't think I'm going to need either of those anymore. Yeah, no, I can actually... I can put it in a box like over here. You can have the rest of the landfill. I will get that later. I could sushi this, which is going to be a bit of a mess. I do want... Like, I think... So the meat and the bones want to get enriched into a fuel source. The brains... The chitin wants to also do this thing. The brains all want this process. But actually, I can actually just sushi that off and then build other things this way, can't I? We're gonna see if we can make that like kind of bad. Do I think I'm ever gonna get more than one belt of this stuff out? Maybe, quite possibly. Am I just gonna use red belt for that when it happens? I think so. Yeah, no, we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to go... Yeah, because what we're going to do actually is... I actually really like this plan now. It's going to be bad, but these guys need meat and bones, right? So let's just go... Let's just have a bunch of guys picking meat and bones off the belt. I don't even know if that's going to be all that I want. Probably not. But the other thing I'm going to do is... These things can also still input from this side. And this is going to keep going further, isn't it? It's going to keep going a lot further. Which is fine, because this can also just go a lot further. I have done zero math on how much of this I want. But the idea is, somewhere down here, I can filter off... Yeah, let's actually just do that instead of actually talking about what it would involve. Because this is going to go... Yeah, these guys are going to continue down this way. Not like that. Actually, it's going to be easy to do those, isn't it? Because all these kind of full. Yeah. Yes, that's going to go that way. This one here is the output belt. Yes. And then this one here, I need to put meat on one side and bones on the other. There's actually another thing I wanted to do for that. I guess we're just gonna curl this here. Sure, let's figure out, because I will have more different kinds of stuff to make here. And I must be really low on iron. Oh, do I still have this box that's making... Yeah, let's just get you back in storage, because then all of these things will get built, which is also kind of fine. Yeah, and then we also need to plug that in again. Yeah, because I wanted... How much space do I need? Yeah, we're gonna do this thing again. It's still a good trick. This is, yeah, that is set to the right thing. That's fine. All those guys are gonna turn up later. We want bones, and then here we want alien flesh, and we are going to... Are we going to prioritize this again? I don't think we are. I think we're just going to put this... There could actually be quite a lot of stuff coming off this, isn't it? This, I may or may not be able to do this. Let's presume for the moment that I can do this at the rate of... If I do it like this, then I can also have a storage chest here set to bones, and then this much of this thing here, and a storage chest here set to meat, because I still might want to be able to Alt-D some of this stuff. Yeah, this is going to do what I need to. And then one of these here, and like some of this kind of stuff. And where is the nearest driver port? I don't need another one over here. I want to not actually extend too far in this direction, because I don't want to merge the house bots with the like perimeter bots. That being said, this is probably not a perimeter that's staying for very long, but it still might. What are you guys doing? You guys don't have... Oh, did I... That's super interesting. I think at some point I have changed... Oh, is it full? Where am I making power poles? Here? This is either storage 48 out of 48. Yeah, okay, that's why... Yeah, that's kinda... I kinda need some more generic storage, because my bots currently don't have generic storage, and now they're just putting anything anywhere. Cool. We're gonna have to deal with that a bit later, but for the moment we're gonna have a lot of enrichment of stuff, which is fine, and that's gonna end up on this belt. And then, where's all my bots all just waiting on? I bet there were so many bots waiting for things, so many bots waiting for storage that they straight up just haven't got around to building all of this stuff, even though it's probably in my mall, because, oh no, it's not, they need gears. That, I should have fit all these back in, but I would still be waiting on gears, because these guys would still be struggling with stuff. Okay, sure, fine, keep building the thing. This is going to give me some amount of that stuff. Then I also want to make the brains somewhere. So let's do this again. Do I want to? I think I want to leave space for this on the other side. Actually, there is actually one other thing that I very much want to do, involving a combinator and some of these things, because actually this is really bad. I kind of can't have stuff in there because this is supposed to be only one type of thing, but whatever. Yeah, let's have, so if this one is here, then we'll leave a space of 4 so I can beacon and power in there as well. And then this can be where I start to process brains? Question mark? So let's get this pattern again. Does it fit? Yeah, because it's gonna go in there. That's where that's gonna go. Yeah, sure. This is fine. This is brains. This storage chest, I don't actually have. Yeah, I don't want this to happen. But I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have enough storage chests, so we'll just have to like reorganize that later. Still got build range, which is fine. Still don't. Okay, fine. The way we can do this is one of these guys working on brains, and I don't actually know if I think I'm just going to settle on using brains for DNA, because I can also turn flesh into DNA, but I can turn flesh and bones into a couple of other things. So let's not do it like that. Let's do it like, that. This is not quite going to connect, but we can have one of these here, and then this, because these guys also have different recipe rates as well, and I'm also not going to worry about that. I'm just going to build a ton of it. Here looks like the same number. How many is that? I'm making 22. 22 is such a silly number. We're not going to do 22. We're going to do 24. And that also means we can do another like collection of these guys. Except these last ones will only ever take from like the supply belt, which is fine. So we've now got 24 each of these things. We can put that other stuff on the same side. I'm pretty sure that recipe takes a while, right? Necromant, brains from DNA, 15 seconds crafting time. Yeah, so I'm not concerned about this running into belt capacity issues. And then the other thing I've got is chitin, which also needs wood. I've got a lot of stone here, so let's just get rid of some of that, because the stone is kind of useful. And then this, I guess, is still going down there. It might end up going down there, whatever. Oh yeah, more stones over there. The stone's kind of rare at the moment, could be kind of useful. But we've got chitin. Where and how am I processing chitin? Because I kind of want to be able to extend the stuff, but then it's also being built in a way that it wasn't really extending. If I'd built it this way, maybe that's better. I think that is actually quite a lot better. So let's see if we can copy this. Yep. And then mirror it this way. Because the thing is, I still want the input belts and the output belts to be kind of the same setup. We just now have to reverse the direction of all of the belts, which is fine, because we got bots for that as well. Which one is this one is the input one, and then this one is the output one, and we've got to dodge it through here, but that's also not a thing I super mind. And then these ones have to go this way, which is also not a thing I super mind. Yeah, this is better. This is going to allow us to... Yeah, this means... Oh, I haven't actually left... I have to underground this to fit beacons in here if I am doing that. But this means that... Yeah, the thing... This is good, it's fine. This means that I can just copy and paste this and extend it down here if I want to, if I'm getting more stuff. These things will copy and paste down here, and all of this filtering is still limited by one yellow belt, but I am at least taking some stuff off it. And then got to get the outputs out. The problem with that is that this now has to run all the way back the other way. So I may as well not have those at all and continue with this kind of setup, except the other way around? Other way around. Yeah, that's what we want. And then one of these here to connect that up, and then this thing also running back this way. Yeah, just keep that there for continuity. Then those guys are trying to figure out where to put their storage. Because I don't actually have general storage anywhere at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, but all the bots are wandering down to the side of the base to do that stuff. That's still bones, this one's still meat. This one is going to be brains when we get the brains. Because the plan here, I think, is that here I can have a number of other train stations. I can almost just cram this in now, I reckon. I reckon if this thing does that, and then this one, too far. Also too far. Okay, and then if this guy gets a chain signal, it's going to need a chain signal here and a radio signal here, and other than the fact that I don't have a crude oil, yeah, they're out. I don't have a crude oil station on the other side, and don't have another locomotive on that. Other than those things, that's nicely set up. But the thing I was thinking is, where can I hook other train stations here to collect these things? And I think the answer to that is we're going to do some dirty, nasty stuff. If anyone was wondering whether or not dirty, nasty stuff would happen, the answer to that is yes. How many products do I get out? I actually only get 2 products out, don't I? I get... If I do this, can I also fit... Yeah, but I'm never going to need both of them. How many of those do I want? Because I've got the enriched charcoal, and I've got the brains, and the chitiners, I think. At the moment, the chitin is the only other thing coming out of the necromant stuff, which is whatever. And these need to... The bones do actually need to be processed. The enriched bones need to be processed into the charcoal. So I think I'm planning on doing that here as well by grabbing all of this and moving it down. Let's actually put it outside of bot range. Where we can... Okay, I guess we're just deleting those cliffs. Okay, yes, so we've got a... This is going to come, I guess, down here. That's not going to work there, but it will work there. And then we want to actually do a kind of similar thing to... What's happening over here? Yeah, kind of similar thing to this, where we've got a bunch of stone furnaces. I don't think I need better than stone furnaces for this. Yeah, so that's the other line of assemblers. We'll leave space for beacons, which means that these guys can go here? Yeah, I reckon that works there. I don't know how many of these I need, and these guys, these things are kind of terrible. We'll use this pattern again because it's a little bit better. And yeah, we'll do that. That's what we want. Because these guys are going to go down this way, this is going to come back this way, and I can also, this is also now nicely tileable. And this stuff is going to go... I'm running out of these power poles as well. So that's pretty fine. These guys actually need some starter fuel. But after that, once everything gets built... Yeah, that's going to be the space I need there, and then I can take this thing and put it back on here. Where is this going to fit? It's going to fit like here? Do I want... I don't think I need any other space between these two. Maybe for beacons? Maybe let's put it over here as if I need space for beacons. Did I turn all mode off? I did turn all mode off, yeah. All of that stuff is over there, okay, fine. Then I've also got to figure out where the chitin goes, and I think because of that, the chitin probably lives... The chitin maybe gets processed here, maybe? The problem is this is all going down to half a belt, isn't it? I kind of wanted some of this to be able to access the other side of the belt as well. So I guess we're going to do... I guess we're not going to worry about that at all. We're going to worry about stuff like that later. I want to hook this up to the extent that I can, so that all the stuff starts to get processed. Because at the moment we're getting chitin spilling out down here, which I guess is fine. But the thing I wanted to do was figure out where train stations are going, because this stuff coming out here and this stuff coming out here are the two products that I need to put back on my trains to... Yeah, these are the products that get... this guy needs to... Wait, what's going... How did I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened either. Yeah, all this is still blocked because they're blocked by a number of things. Oh wait, and also the power here is really bad. There's a number of these guys that, like, whatever, just have more of the stuff, I guess. Whatever, sure. And then this one doesn't actually want to exist. Okay. I do have train stations. I don't really have trains, but this is not that much, like that much. Is this going to be roughly what I want? I reckon it is. Let's get rid of this, and let's just throw some of this down. And is this going to be... Are these going to be one-sided train tracks? I don't think they have to be. These can actually be... Oh no, but on the other side, yeah, down here, these trains are probably going to be a mess. Like, this one is definitely going to be... Oh no, it could be a one-way train if it just ends up going all the way around a thing. I don't know, haven't decided yet. We'll have... What rough pattern is this thing looking like? This is big enough for a 4 train, yeah. How often are these trains running? I don't think these trains are running often. So I think I can get away with just a couple of trains that go just in one direction. So we'll have... That will... Yeah, so trains seem to come in, trains seem to come out, that's going to be fine. Things... Oh, wait. That's not quite true for the brains, is it? I'm going to deal with that later. I'm not even going to worry about that now. Things I wanted include lasers, except I still don't have... We're going to do LDS first. Is that true? That's not true. We're going to do uranium processing, because this buffer over here is getting full, and we need to be able to, like, make this buffer smaller. And I still don't think I have military processing. Let's not get those guys out of the way, they don't matter. Yeah, because if I I don't have locomotives, because if I did have locomotives, I'd have some things here, and I'd have more chests, of which I have the kind... It's all the way over there. Sure. Something like this. Is that the right place? Not really. Let's pull these guys back a bit. Stack and sodas are here. Things I'm not gonna have... I don't think I'm gonna have a large amount of this stuff. But the other thing I was wondering about is, can I... Like, if this is the shape of one of these stations, how close can I get this to still be reasonable? And I think I can have this, like, here. And then I can have this one, like, here. Because all these guys are chain anyway. It's not that much of a big deal. And we can go there, and then we can put this stuff on... not there, but that side. And then I also need... Okay, yeah, well, we're gonna need these power poles anyway for a couple of things. Yeah, we're not even manufacturing these yet, but that's what we're gonna do to make sure that all that stuff gets powered. All this chitin is now backing up. I think the other thing we do, just to deal with everything else, is just like deal with everything else. But this is... Yeah, this is fine. This one is going to be brains, and this one is going to be charcoal. And other than the fact that these things aren't linked up yet, which is, you know, also fine. We can have one of these guys over here. Yeah, we need to give these guys carriages. I've actually only got 3 carriages, but that's fine. I've built more. I need to make these things a thing, but we can have... Where's splitters? Here's a splitter that can go... like here. And do I even care if these things evenly load? I'm not actually sure. I mean, I want them evenly loading between the wagons, but I'm not sure that I care about whether or not they evenly load between these. Like, not so much. Like, the other thing I can do actually is if I limit these to like 2 chests. 2 chests, 2 stacks per chest. Then it's never going to get... It's still going to get quite uneven, isn't it? Do I care if this backs up? I don't know that I do, because I still have all of these boxes for caching things, and these things backing up means that I've got more stuff than I need, and then I can just copy and paste these things. Okay, so each of these wagons has enough of a buffer to completely fill a wagon should it arrive. And then we're going to do this kind of similar thing. Is that true? Yeah, we get yeah, whatever. That was an R pressed in the wrong place. There we go. So these guys are also going to go this way, and we're already successfully processing things. Kind of. I mean, we also just need to be boxing this chitin a lot more. This can go here, and yeah, that was the thing I was going to do, wasn't it? This is... So this definitely has to go through here anyway. That's like what that does. And these are... Yeah, do I even want... I guess I'm making these trains too long. I was contemplating making these 1 long, but I guess I'm making it too long. Yeah, we'll do that. But then the other thing that I wanted was... Like, the other question is, how do we fuel these trains? And this is actually a train fuel here by itself. Like, this is... This stuff that's on, that's coming out, is straight up a fuel that I can use for trains. So we can do something like... Both of these are terrible, but it's fine. Where's the other train going to be? That power pole is Not really in the way actually, because I can do, let's do fast inserters. I don't think I need to do fast inserters. I think we can just go like here and here, and this guy can go like so, like that, and then we can do the same thing over to here. And not only do we have, okay, everyone needs to turn up and like connect these things up so we can have a decent set of processors. Like all of these guys are not powered because it all goes through here. Okay, fine. This one, yeah. So now we're collecting all this chitin. I might actually, here looks like a decent place to be connecting chitin. So let's grab that splitter and tell bots to bring me one, and then have over here a thing that says chitin fragment. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, no, we can do that. We are going to do this at the end, because at the moment we're not filtering this for anything. This is just what falls off the end, which is cool because what's going on here? Yeah, let's do this again because it's dumb. Yeah, because I just copied that one because it was already kind of broken. Okay, yeah, because we want out there and in there, and that all needs to be pretty normal. And then we'll just like do this another couple of times, and that's much better, isn't it? It's one of those sessions where I'm not sure whether or not I feel like I've actually achieved a whole lot, but it's probably fine. Then we've got Roboport coverage. We don't have logistics boxes, so we can't quite unpack these things. These guys, oh yeah, because this one is also still busted, isn't it? Okay, so you get the brains. You over here get, yeah, meat is also a little bit busted, isn't it? And then, because that box doesn't work, meat is still busted, which means everything is busted. But other than that, and how long we've been like running this for, and also this needs some of that. Okay, do I have locomotive? I don't have locomotive. That's a bit of a shame. But all of this is going to give us, I think, a decent processing facility. Like all of this is backed up. And then actually, if these guys are continuing, we should do that as well. But we're going to get all the meat out where, oh yeah, there was another thing I wanted to do. I did want another one of these guys straight up here doing that kind of stuff. Uranium processing is finished. Do I want accumulators? Do I want worm processing? Which one was, oh, this was converting chitin to bones. So there is actually a way I can deal with chitin automatically. I don't think I need that yet. I don't even know that I want nuclear power yet. I just wanted a way to deal with the other stuff. Let's do logistics, robots, and LES. I don't think I'm going to use either of those for a while, but they're good, useful things to have. Yeah, this one's going to be special because I'm going to wire, I think this might be like the other time that I'm going to use a combinator. Decide a combinator. I can actually set this up right now, I think. Because what this wants to be is decide a combinator, and then this one is the input one. Because I've noticed from what's over here is that I've got a lot of bones left over, and this is because I started off processing brains and flesh, so a lot of the flesh got used and I've ended up with a bone surplus, even though I think most of the recipes I've seen use, yeah, the recipe in particular uses the same amount of bones to flesh. So I want to say if bones exceeds flesh, output, I don't know, output bones. That's actually not going to work, is it? Oh no, that still works, because I can just, so the idea of this is, I think this is how this works. And then this one is just straight up going to be... Where's the one that just converts bones to charcoal? Is that in the intermediates instead? Where was I using that before? Raw fish. I'm sure I had a way of... Oh, because it's in a furnace. Okay, in that case I need a filter inserter, which I can't quite have. Unless... Yeah, because the idea of this one, and I figured out how this geometry works, is have... Unless I just do it over the other side. Actually, I could also just swap these around. Yeah, I can. Let's just swap these around. This we're gonna do that, and we're gonna change this into bones, and we're gonna empty this out, and we're gonna put these guys back, and this one is going to go to meat instead. And the reason for that is now in this space, this is going to be bones, right? This actually needs to move, which is a bit of a pain, but it can go over here, and then we can also just wire this again to the input side, and then yeah, then we can have a fast inserter, so it's good at getting stuff fast, and then we can have one of these furnaces, except he's also going to need fuel, which is going to be a shame. Can we have... Doesn't quite fit, because the idea of this was this... What is this guy outputting? This is... Oh, I haven't set it up at all yet because I broke it. Okay, let's put it back. If bones is greater than meat, then output bones, and this guy wants to go output bones greater than 0, so that it's currently disabled by controller behavior because I do not have more bones than meat. But the idea is, if this guy also picks up from here, he's got a fuel source. Okay, and then if this one puts... Also doesn't quite fit. But, I mean, if this one is the electric furnace, it would still be a little off. But it's still... Yeah, I think this is... I think, actually, yeah, this one actually needs to go here. So that this can go here. You go away, yeah, because then this one can just put whatever appears in there. Yeah, so I think this is... let's actually get some meat and some bones and test that works. But I am at least processing all this stuff now, and it's just turning up not yet. So this has been a long episode, which I think has got a decent amount done. Actually, let's just throw the bones in here. So this inserter now works, which is cool. These guys are getting the bones, which is fine. I did end up with meat on the belt, so I'm going to have to go and clear that off. That's not a big deal. Basically, the idea is now I can receive meat, I can receive bones. If I end up with... Yeah, so I now should not end up with a backlog. I should be able to work through this backlog of bones just fine, because any surplus will get converted with the old recipe just into the same stuff. Then I need to get these, and then also need to visit this stuff again, because this is still a disaster. Not that. Item on ground was the one we wanted over there. This guy, yeah, this... Where's this guy? Is this going to do... It's going to do more or less what I need, is it? And the name of this station was Eric Trapdoor, so let's make that work. This is going to be time past, and I reckon, every 10 minutes. Is every 10 minutes a good amount? We can't really use inactivity or full or empty cargo, but that should bring, what's this chest? This chest is also, okay, landfill. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about these things hanging out at the end of the belt. I'm not super concerned about this stuff, but this is probably just going back up on belts on there, and that's going to happen next time, because I think we're already kind of at episode length. We've got... This is still going fine. This is just... So, okay, so at the moment, we're going at the rate of blue research, which is fine. We've completely run down the oil completely. We still haven't run down our light oil supply, though, which is... I mean, we're running down our light oil supply. Our power grid is still fine because we've got all of that. This guy has now got not everything that it needs because these guys are still working, but it's fine. This is actually enough. You just go here and do this thing. Let's actually check whether or not the other outposts are unhappy or not. And they're kind of not. Oh, this guy also has a train. I've forgotten that I put this train together. Okay, so what is this train station called? Vampiric Dust. Fine. Vampiric Dust. Why can't I get to the brain station? I should be able to get to the brain station. Time passed. 600. Dismemberment corpse party. Empty cargo. And... yeah, now we have several of those things happening. Why... I should be able to get... Oh, because there isn't actually a chain signal there. I have the chain signals. Let's just run over the tracks even though the trains are arriving. So yeah, so this is going to give us another problem later. But this is doing exactly what it should. This is nice. We're unloading all these things. Okay, so these also need to be changed to the other kind of power pole or whatever. We're not actually sorting all of them yet, but we're getting things off at a fairly large rate. Things are going to storage. This next guy's going to turn up. This is actually pretty fine. This is doing most of the things that we needed it to. Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah. These guys are going to need a fuel source as well, and a thing that struck me as dramatic and hilarious is the continued use of biter corpses to power basically everything. So we're actually going to run... This is also going to be... Okay, it's not going to go there, is it? It's going to go here. This is also going to be a corpse-powered train station. I've not done this super well. There we go. So that's way more fuel, way more quickly than these guys need. It'll probably be fine. Yeah. So we're going to. Yeah. This feels like it's taken ages, but it's like a thing that I'm like not completely abhorrent about. This all can go away. We do not need any of those things. So yeah, we've got a train stop where we can just drive corpses. Why are you 30 seconds past? Yeah, no, that's supposed to be 600. You don't need to come here that often, probably. We've got a buffer for the different types of ores. We've got processing for the different types of ores that's quite easily copy and pasteable. Actually, these arguably should have run the opposite way, so that they were more extensible. I guess these just continue down here for a while, and then like I wonder how much of this stuff I've got. But then I need to do the same here. Whatever. Also things I can do with robots later. Yeah. Then we've got a couple of different types of corpse processing, which is just going nicely. We've got... Yeah, I need to sort that out again, but that's also not a big deal. And then we've got a large variety of different kinds of corpse processing, and yeah, all of this stuff is doing kind of what it needs to. I just need to make these power poles, and then give them to the bots, and then put some trains here, and that's all some stuff that we can do in between. And yeah, I think we're pretty good. I think we've built like a couple of different processes, and I'll go make some trains, plug them in, make some other things, connect some belts up. We'll get a bit more iron out. We won't have to deal with hand sorting trash ever again. We'll look at the things that bots are needing. Landfill, okay, I've got years and not enough. We're gonna have to go and get some of that. Yeah, and then we might be in a position to, okay, I'm not gonna need any of these ever, to connect these inputs up, because we're also going to need sulfur here, and then we're going to need these two belts probably running around the outside down here. So those are some things we can do, but we're going to need more resources. We're going to need to repack all of this stuff. Actually, all of these things are things that can change as well. So yeah, I'll move those around between episodes as well, and we'll come back and we'll figure out what the next build is, and it's probably going to be expanding the sciences, maybe even thinking about purple and yellow science. Oh no, my generic storage is that the generic storage? That's the generic storage. So we'll do something about that as well, because that's going to end up a mess too. But yeah, got a lot of good stuff done.